Look the other way. Wanna be a bird. Until we find our girls in the caves, they see it. In today's video, I am eating everything that I see on my TikTok For You page. I may have to do this more often because it really just elevated my palate this week. It was 10/10. I also ended up cooking things that I just never thought to cook. Like, I'm so glad TikTok recommends recipes to me because it's exactly what I love. If any of you guys want to know the recipes, of course, the original video is going to be linked in the description, but I've also done the recipes myself, like my way, with whatever I've added in throughout the video. So if you want to head over to my TikTok, definitely go show some love, go download the recipes. Because with everything I make, I always just add a bit of a has touch, you know what I mean? Whether there's the herbs or the spices. I know it's a recipe, but I just hate copying. I don't know, it makes me feel strange. So first up, we have something that I have wanted to try for the longest time. I think it's my most watched mukbang, and that is Korean rice cakes, which, excuse the pronunciation, but tteokbokki, I believe it's pronounced. I watched so many people eat this and it just looks so yummy. I love like gelatinous texture, something chewy but not too chewy, you know, it has to be perfect. And I've actually never tried it before. Luckily, I was walking around London and came across Oseo because they did open one in London. I popped in there and I got my enoki mushrooms. I've never seen them anywhere before apart from Oseo. Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong places. So if you guys could let me know anywhere else that isn't mainstream that does that, me and you would be tight. I got my tteokbokki from there. I got my enoki mushrooms. I got my gochujang. I also got some, I believe, yakisoba noodles as well. So from the recipe I saw, I added in some bacon and onions to a pan. You can add garlic. Did I add garlic? I don't remember if I added garlic. Maybe I did. I must have done. Who does onions without garlic? I fried these off in the pan and then I added my tteokbokki and I just kind of literally 30 seconds to a minute just cooked them with everything. The recipe didn't say to add soy sauce, but I am a soy sauce lover. So that's what I put into my pan. Then comes the hot water and the little sachet that came in my tteokbokki kit because I could have just made my own, but I didn't want to get a full bag of tteokbokki and then I don't like it. So I just got the little instant one. And the powder's gonna be nice, you know what I mean? It's probably every spice that I'd need to buy to make the sauce anyway, so I just did that. Mix it all around, added my gochujang, then I added my yakisoba noodles. I love when I watch people make this and it's just everything in the pan, nothing's been mixed, it's just like all cooking away in there. That's what makes me want to have it, you know? I've never obviously cooked enoki mushrooms before, so I had no idea what to expect going into this, but I just know that I wanted the crunch. I like the sound of the crunch when I watch Korean mukbangs. I then added lactose-free Greek yogurt. You could do cream, you should do cream, but my body doesn't do cream. Yeah, me and cream, we don't get on. So I did lactose-free Greek yogurt. It worked just the same. Added some chili flakes. Now, it's your choice if you want to add cheese by now. That would actually slapped, I'm not gonna lie, but a little bit of slice of heaven ends up in a little bit of a nut of hell. Yeah, me and cheese also don't mash, so should have just done it for the video though, shouldn't I? I also had some leftover veggie sausages, so I just popped them in there, but to my liking, I probably would have just avoided this. I let that all simmer away, and then I actually filmed this mukbang kind of style for TikTok, so I'll just put it on the screen. Every bite got better and better and better. It was like the right amount of spice, but it didn't burn your mouth off. Quite mild. It's got a bit of a kick, but it's nice. It's not too much, you know? I could just eat and eat it. Every time I go to Yumi Sushi or anything like that, I always put the sauce on the side. It's one of the many loves of my life. Let's just take a moment though. Let's listen to the enoki mushrooms. I know. Wasn't that so good? I felt like I just fulfilled all my dreams. 10 out of 10 would make it again. TikTok, thank you so much for recommending this to me because I loved it. Oh my goodness. I just wanted to interrupt. I hope you don't mind that I'm just kind of stopping the video like this. I really do apologise. I just need to have a deep meaningful chat, you know, DMC. So I went live yesterday and to my knowledge, not a lot of you know that I do music, which I don't blame you. I don't really talk about it too much apart from the odd occasion I just randomly post a music video. But the reality is I do. If you ever followed me from my covers, then congratulations, thank you so much. You are the reason I'm here. And I do my own music now. I have around 5 songs out if you want to go down into the description and listen to them. But if you imagine like fresh out of Disney kid, just had sex with the 2000s American rom-com film, I'd like to think that that is my style of music. I didn't go on Disney, and also I was one when those types of films came out. I'm gonna let you get back to the video now, but I'd really appreciate it. Let's fast forward to dinner time. So for the dinner, I was making for the full fam. So I was kind of trying to find something that would come up on my page that, you know, everyone would like. I did end up slightly altering the recipe because one person in the family is vegetarian, so I had to split that. But that was more than fine because even this without the chicken is so yummy, right guys? Okay, so today we made chicken orzo. Never had orzo before. Tell a lie, that was such a big fat lie. I actually had orzo in Croatia and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a rice, but it's a pasta. It's the softest, nicest pasta, like the texture of orzo, so unreal. Very first time I tried it, I knew I needed to make a dish with it, and this just floated on my For You page, which I'm a little bit concerned because it did actually say it was like a calorie watched meal. The fuck does that even mean? But obviously it's good if you're trying to do weight loss and stuff, and I'm absolutely not. So when she was doing the measurements, like, I kind of didn't really care. Like, I was just putting in however much I wanted. Whenever I cook, I do just kind of eyeball everything. But obviously if you head over to my TikTok, you'll see the recipe that I did with actual measurements. But I do kind of just guesstimate, guys. I just find life's a bit more fun that way. And it also means that every single time it's not the same. So we've got the onions, we've got the garlic, we've got the leeks, we've got the parmesan, we've got the Philadelphia, orzo, tomato puree, chicken, sun-dried tomatoes, mushrooms, cheese. Like, that's it. So we need. Chop your onions, but do it the right way. Don't do what I did and, you know, make your eyes literal bleed. Oh, my dad has shown me how to cut onions so many times, but I still just don't ever do it. It doesn't just like make my eyes water. I honestly feel like my face is gonna burn off and I absolutely hate it. I love onions. Do you know what? That's another thing I don't know if it likes me very much. Onions also kind of make me feel a little bit sick. So I chopped my leeks into semicircles. In the original TikTok, it doesn't have the leeks, but I needed to use them. Waste not, want not, you know. Also unsure if she does this in the original recipe, but I use the sun-dried tomato oil to like cook the chicken, cook the leeks, cook the onions. Just gives it that extra flavor. Now, if you're making this at home and you don't have someone who's vegetarian, then of course you can put both of these in the pan together, the chicken and the leeks and everything like that. I had to cook it separately, obviously, because I don't want to contaminate. That is why you're seeing me do everything in 2 separate pans. And I know that the veggie pan is so big, okay? Just, I didn't have anything else to hand, and it's a beautiful pot. So for seasonings for the chicken, I did in a Parmesan chicken spice. Now you're talking. Salt, pepper, you know the drill. Once I've cooked the chicken a little bit, I just went back in and added some more as well, just to make sure it's really coated. Obviously, original recipe just got a roast chicken like pre-bought and shredded the chicken and put it in that way. That would probably taste fabulous actually, but again, I did it my way. This is gonna look weird, but you get a stock cube, you get your water. I'm cooking for 5 people, so I did 800 to 1,000 ml, but you definitely need more. My measuring jug just couldn't fit that. And then you add your cream cheese. I'm using Philadelphia. This is gonna look really gross and you're gonna be like, ooh, Haz, why are you doing that? But I promise you, she does it in the original recipe, it's not me. I then wanted to cut my chicken smaller because it will have been cooked, but I just, you know, small pieces of chicken throughout the dish, as opposed to nothing, one massive lump of chicken, nothing, another piece of chicken, you know? Then obviously you won't have to do this, but I split the leeks, onion and garlic into the 2 pans. One is the veggie pan, one is the meat pan. You wanna put in your orzo, your tomato puree. I think I did like a teaspoon. That's such a lie. I did a tablespoon in the meat one, and then in the veggie one, because obviously it was a lot smaller, I just did a teaspoon. Once your chicken is done, add that to the pan. I like to keep in the chicken juice. Some people don't like it, but I think it adds flavor. That's kind of what chicken stock is, so I'll put it in. Then you add this ungodly mixture. I think it just looks curdled, but it goes. Honestly, it just melts away. You won't have that texture in there. This is really gonna make your orzo nice and soft, and as you're going along, if you check after 20 minutes, I think the original person said only it needs to go in for 20 minutes, but I found that it was still a little bit too crunchy. And honestly, when the orzo is like all soggy and so good, it's so good. So yeah, anyway, getting ahead of myself, I also did some mushrooms to add in there, not on the original recipe, just someone I wanted. It was one of those days where you just need to use up everything in your fridge because the shop was tomorrow. I actually prefer those days though. I think you make your best meals on that day because you're just like grab it at the back of the fridge, like red cabbage, yeah, fucking put it in. Sun-dried tomatoes, fucking it, I'll lob them in somewhere. Mushrooms, side dish, you know what I mean? That was basically what this day was. The mushrooms was intended for the vegetarian dish. I ended up just putting them in both. Sun-dried tomatoes are a must. And then of course a little bit of green, some spinach. Now you can either put your cheese on now or after, it depends how cheesy you want it. I do it both. I do it now and after. I then had some sort of reaction to something because that was thrilling. After 20 minutes, this is what the dishes look like. You can't tell me that doesn't look amazing. That literally looks heavenly, and it was heavenly. It was so good. My favourite thing I've ever eaten in my life. It's past the point of knowing itself. That was so good. Very good. Thank you, thank you. And the tray was empty in minutes. Oh, it was so good, guys. I now have like adapted this so much further that all of my friends make it. Just call me a chef. Let's have a break. Now, obviously for this one, it's Logan's cucumber salad, so viral, but there has been so many different variations of this. I kind of just saw someone doing one and was like, fuck it, I'll do my own. Because sometimes you need to eat an entire cucumber. So the recipe that I did, if you guys want to try it and let me know, it's very plain, very basic actually. I don't really add any like protein in there, meat or anything. I don't know, I like it to be quite acidic, quite plain, quite easy eating. So I chop up my cucumber and then I put that into just any Tupperware. Just a normal Tupperware, darling. You know, I'm not gonna go out and buy you something special, so just make sure it's got a lid. I then did the tiniest bit of red onion because obviously it's not a very big container. My kimchi. My Shayla. My kimchi. I've developed a kimchi complex, as we all have at some point in our life. Philadelphia, vinegar, soy sauce, paprika, Worcester sauce. Don't skip that step because that makes it worthwhile. I know some of you are gonna hear the vinegar and be like, sorry, what did you say? But honestly, it's because I would normally add lemon and I didn't have any lemons. Life didn't give me lemons. I added an apple cider vinegar and it's good for you, so don't judge, alright? Obviously, avocado, salt, pepper, and then I shake it. Oh, so I just got pinging. You can't have it. So cute. This part's always the hardest. I know, Eva, what's going on? My method of shaking was pretty good. I know loads of people kept commenting on Logan's TikToks ages ago being like, I gave it doesn't mix. It does. You just ain't doing it right. I lapped this up, babe. I absolutely lapped it up. This is my favorite snack to eat in between filming. It's super quick and easy. If I even need to rush out or like I've just came in and I have to rush back out, cucumber salad. Paneer curry. Sargaloo. What was the other thing that I made? Honey curried carrots. So the initial TikTok that came up on my page was the paneer curry / fakeaways. So like Chinese, Indian fakeaways. Recently we went to an Indian near us and we actually did have a paneer curry. Paneer butter masala actually, which goodness gets me happy thinking about it. And the TikTok that I saw didn't really have a recipe, so just kind of searched one online, made it myself. So absolutely, of course, the recipes for all three things will be linked down below. I started off by putting the paneer in water. I never actually knew this was a thing, just knew that from the recipe. I've also never tried to cook paneer before, so first time for everything. I think I did pretty well. Now, because I was cooking a lot of things all at once, again, cooking for the fam, separated it. Cut everything at the same time, but I just separated it into two sections. So I'm just cutting the onions, I'm cutting the garlic, I'm cutting the ginger, and then I just swipe it along into two separate piles. So I know one's for the sargaloo, one's for the curry. Get your butter in your pan. And then you want to add the minced garlic, onion, and ginger. What's the word I was looking for? You want to cook it, you want to saute it, as you would say. And then you're going to put in all your spices. So I'm talking paprika, I'm talking medium curry powder. Ground coriander, I think, was in there as well somewhere. And then a stock cube, but not with a lot of water. I believe this was like 3/4 cups. Look at the recipe, I don't remember. Along with the passata, and make sure you wash out that passata so that you get all the good stuff. Tomato puree, I added in some sugar because that's what the recipe told me to do. And then I actually ended up putting in butter beans because, again, was feeding 5 people. I didn't think just the paneer would be enough, so the butter beans just helps it be more filling basically, and it was actually quite a nice addition. It went really well. Here I'm just, you know, prepping my carrots. These are organic carrots, so I didn't need to peel them. Just in case you're watching, you're thinking that's fucking disgusting. These were organic, babe. Potatoes weren't, however, so I did end up peeling them. I'm just gonna check in on my curry, and do you know what? I added in those cloves, cardamom pods, is it something like that? Normally, you add them in and they just kind of float to the surface, but because I put the butter beans in, couldn't find the fuckers. It was like a Where's Wally, but you're looking for the whole cast. Couldn't find them. So yeah, there did end up being like 2 of them in there when we ate them in the evening. And they're foul to eat, aren't they? So while that's simmering away for around, I think I did 20 minutes, I minced the other part of the onions, garlic and ginger, and this is for the sagaloo, so I put in some cumin seeds. I believe that's cumin seeds. I could be lying to you guys. No, it is cumin seeds. Put in some olive oil, put in my minced stuff, and then I put the potatoes in whole. The recipe didn't tell me to part boil them, and I was stressed. I was having heart palpitations because I've never cooked anything like this without part boiling the potatoes. I guess you could if you wanted to. I mean, there's no harm. After you've put in all your spices, you do end up putting in a bit of water. I did put in 2 full cups, I believe it was, because I just didn't think there was gonna be enough moisture in there if I just did one. But it was pretty easy. You just kind of let that cook away, keep checking on it, keep mixing it. It turned out all right. Curry carrots is just how you would do honey roasted carrots. Part boil them, put them in the roaster, the grill. What do I call it? The roaster. Rotisserie chicken. And then you put on some honey and curry powder. Mild or medium, it's completely up to you. Going back to our curry, we put in some cream. You guys can put in cream. I believe I actually put in the Greek yogurt again, the lactose-free Greek yogurt. Don't hate me, hate my stomach. But you know, I think it's a lot more common than I realised that people are intolerant to lactose, so maybe just do my recipe. Again, didn't think it was going to be enough after I added the paneer, so I did just chop up some bread, put some melted butter, put some garlic on there, put some cheese. Better than having a naan bread in my opinion, because I was like, can't have naan bread. Do you know, I had one again the other night, and as much as I love the taste of it, I couldn't have it. I reckon if I tried to make naan breads myself, I don't have the big, you know, the big drum that they cook it in. Oh my gosh, love. Something in it bloats me. I think it's all the emulsifiers and preservatives. Like, I generally think I'm just like intolerant to that, which is great because it's in everything, isn't it? I'm just really trying to cut out loads of shit. Anyway, I popped them in the oven and the curry's looking beautiful. Be a beautiful day. And then I just added some Inner Parman's seasoned salt to my sagaloo, because it can't get any better than that. But everything is pretty much finished. This is what it looks like, and it went down an absolute treat. Would I say it is my favourite thing I cooked so far? I'd say the tteokbokki was, but that's only because I prefer those flavours. But this was unreal. Paneer wasn't rubbery. I feel like I cooked it well, I prepped it well. I'm pretty proud of myself. I definitely could have done the sagaloo a bit tastier. Just saying. I'm actually gonna let my real-time has talk to you about the next one, because for once I actually remembered to film the process while I spoke through it, so I hope you enjoy it. I have wanted to try these for the longest time. It's absolutely what I'm craving today. So it actually isn't that many ingredients, and I feel like we're gonna do it in a decent amount of time. I'm trying to do this for lunch, so I reckon we got it on lock. I've got 2 sausage meats, but instead of adding the stuff in like the viral video says, I've actually already got a pork roasted chestnut and onion stuffing sausage meat. Kind of just eliminates the process, because I'm trying to do this quick time, you know what I mean? We then have streaky rashers of bacon. Obviously that's going on inside of the sausage roll. We have pre-rolled puff pastry, 1 egg for the egg wash, and then I also got the smooth cranberry. I think you can use the whole one as well, but this is the one that I went for. And then I'm actually just gonna sprinkle some cheese over the top. I know the original recipe doesn't do that. I love when a sausage roll has that. First we have the puff pastry. Okay, so don't do what I did. Maybe let your puff pastry get warm for a little bit, because mine's just come straight out the fridge, which is my own fault. But first we're gonna do the cranberry sauce. Love that sound. Do you know what? I don't even know if I like cranberry sauce. If you guys have watched my previous video, you would know that I was supposed to do cranberry bites, and in the end, I didn't end up doing that. I just did like different flavoured jams, because I wasn't too sure if I even liked cranberry sauce. I've obviously had it over the years, but it's not something that I can recall absolutely loving, but hopefully I do, because I'm spreading it all in my sausage rounds. Wow, do you actually need the whole jar? Maybe. These, for those of you who haven't seen it before, are like giant sausage rolls. You can make them bite-sized, and I am tempted to, because I'm seeing my family over the weekend. I think it's how big they are that are making people want them so bad. I might be the only person that can't really stand streaky bacon. I know that's a really bold statement, but it's not really my jig. I think it has to be streaky for this recipe though, in order for it to cook properly. I didn't realise just how popular these were. Like, I kept seeing them on my For You page by the same guy who was doing it. And next thing you know, I see everyone's recreating the viral sausage rolls. I was like, I didn't know they were viral. I just kind of put them in my notes to say like, oh yeah, I really want to do that. Obviously they must be viral for a reason. Oh, yum, I'm so excited about this. Cover that bottom bit. Let's make sure all of it's covered in bacon, shall we? The smell of this is insane. Oh my gosh. And I've decided I am gonna go for the smaller. I think it's just easier. You are gonna have to get your hands dirty for this, I'm afraid. Welcome back. Now that I'm silent, you've got me again. These were the fattest things to roll. I couldn't fit half of the meat mixture in. Like, that's why they turned out pretty sloppy. But do you know what? At the end of the day, once I put them in the oven and once I cooked them, they actually turned out perfect. It didn't matter that it was spilling out the sides. Sometimes I spill out the sides. It still tastes good. I didn't say that. That is a full sausage roll. Okay, for a moment I didn't think that was gonna work, but I think we actually got it. I think it's obvious I kind of messed that one up. The other one was so much better. I think the cutting part and the folding was definitely the hardest part. I did my egg wash, I did my seasoning, I put the parmesan on, I put some sesame seeds, salt, pepper, and this is how they turned out. Are you fucking joking me? They were absolutely elite. I kind of regret the fact that I made them for other people now because I just wanted to scrounge them onto myself, and I'm annoyed that I didn't get the chance to. We'll definitely be making these again though, absolutely. So my groovy girls, I do believe that is the end of the video, and I've had a very satisfying week, I'm not gonna lie. This was the best kind of video for me to film. I love food, I love filming it, I love sharing it with you guys. Fabulous. If you want to stick around and see more content like this, then definitely make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Thank you so much. If you already are, I love you so much. And if you did, just click that button, then I love you too. Let me know if you'd like to see another styled video like this. Maybe I'll do just a certain cuisine or being really strict with it. I feel like this one I wasn't that strict with. I definitely could have, you know, filmed myself actually scrolling and done exactly what comes up on my timeline, the first thing I see. So let me know if you want to see that as well. Aside from that, make sure you keep confessing to the people's diary if you want to see more people's diary. The confessions have been lacking this year. I know, people haven't been that scandalous, but I'm hoping new year, new you know what I mean? I'm hoping you guys can fill my life with more drama. Check out my music, check out my socials. They will all be in the description, and my socials will also be floating around the screen. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in to today's video, and I will see you in the next one.